Alejandro's going to explain us how to do problem number 1. Alejandro, go ahead.
Okay, so first you have to find your p hat and q hat. So how I got p hat was by dividing 323 by 1,404, which gave me 0.23. And then to get q hat, you do 1 minus p hat, which gave me 0.77. From there, you want to get the margin of error. So I got my confidence value.
Critical value.
Critical value, which was 1.645, and then I got multiply that by the square root of p hat times q hat, which was 0.23 and 0.77 divided by my
N.
my n, which is 1,404, which gave me e, which is 0.018, and then from there to get your margin of error, you do 0.23 plus or minus 0.018, which gave me 0.212 and 0.248.
Great. Are we all good with that one? You guys remember how to do those? Right. So remember, the idea is you find your best point estimate. What's your best point estimate?
What you have.
P hat.
Not me.
Yeah.
That's not
Right? 0.23. And then you have your error, you subtract your error, and you add your error to get your lower and upper limits for your confidence interval.
Yes.
Good? Okay, next, Lindsay, go and explain what you did.
Okay, so for this one, I realized that it was a find n problem. So I went in my notes and found the equation for the find n problem, which is n equals the alpha over 2 squared times p hat times q hat all over your margin of error squared. So then I plugged everything into that. I used the z-table to find 2.576, and then p hat was 0.36, and 1 minus p hat comes out to 0.64. And then it says within 2%, so my margin of error was 0.02. And then I calculated that out and I got 3822.21, but that's not a number of people, so I have to round it up to 3823 people.
Right, so did everybody round correctly on this one? Remember, it's the minimum sample size. So because it's that unusual case where it's the minimum, you need at least that many, which means that you always have to go up from there. So you have to, it's the minimum. That's the minimum you have. So you have. Good? Mm-hmm. Only because it's a minimum that's strange like that. Next one. Charmaine, go ahead.
5. Number 5 is a mean one sample t-test hypothesis test. So first I did my H0 and my H1, which is my H0 is mean equals 79,500. H1 is mean is less than 79,500, which is the claim, and it's a one-tailed test for your critical value, which is number 2. Degrees of freedom is 8 minus 1, which is 7. Since it's less than and it's one-tailed, it's negative. So it's negative 1.415 in the 0.10 alpha level. And then I drew it over there.
Yeah, so she drew it over here. Great.
Yes. And then I did my test stat. That's the formula, which I got from the yellow piece of paper. And then...
Okay, so a lot of people, this is why I brought this one up. A lot of people, because we just did the part with the dependent, people have started thinking of this as being 0. And it's not always 0. It's only 0 in the special case where we have 2 sample means dependent. So some of you guys, I noticed, had crossed out that part in your yellow sheet. You should not be crossing that out. That mu naught is mu naught, just like it is here. It's only 0 in that special case where you have 2 sample dependent. That's when your mu naught is 0. Make sense?
Yes.
So that's an exception. The rule is mu naught. It's whatever you get from your claim. This is your claim, your target. So 7,900. If you did not get negative 1.733, you should check that. Make sure you don't mess that up on the exam because that'll cost you a lot of points. Okay, keep going.
So to get my X bar and my standard deviation, I use stats, 1 var stats. I put in my data from up there in my L1, and then it said my X bar is 75,150 and my standard deviation is 6,937.68. So I just plugged it in, and then I got that answer from I use t-test. It's negative 1.773, which is in there in the guilty region. And so in my step number 4, it's reject H naught. And then number 5 is there is not enough evidence to support
Is it
claim.
that you said? Yeah.
Yep.
Keep going.
There is not enough evidence to
No,
support.
you keep saying not.
Sorry, there is enough evidence to support claim that the starting pay is less than 79,500. Sorry, I'm sleepy.
Yeah. Great. Sorry. Okay, all good? So again, if you had put 0 in for here, or worse yet, if you cross that out in your yellow sheet, make sure you uncross that out somehow. Right? I can get you a new one if you need one. I think problem number 6 is also valuable to go over. Right, so let's take a look at that one. What kind of problem is this? Is this a mean or proportion? How do you know it's a mean?
Because it's numbers. Whole
Yeah, like
numbers.
they are numbers, not yeses and nos. You guys see what I'm saying? So then the second question is it a test or a confidence interval? Test. Right, there's no word confidence interval or estimate there. So how many samples is it?
2.
This is 2 samples.
Two samples dependent.
Who actually did this problem? If you didn't do this problem, then the really big question is, it's 2 samples, it's a mean, it's a test. Whenever you have 2 samples, you should ask, and it's a mean, you got to ask yourself if it is independent or dependent. Which one is this? Dependent. How do you know?
Before or after.
Yeah, because they're matched up.
Yes.
Before and after, they're matched up in pairs. They go together. So because of that, it makes it really easy. You just take the first one, you subtract the second one, and you run a 1 sample t-test on their differences. So you subtract these guys. 2, 4, 2, 1, 3, negative 1, 2, 1, 3, 0. These are your differences, and you're going to want a 1 sample t-test on those. Put them into your list, and then you're going to find an X bar. You're going to do one stat calc 1 bar stats, and you're going to get X bar as what?
1.7.
Should I write down list 1, and then do stat calc. Do you guys need me to write that down? Stat calc 1 bar stats of L1, and you're going to get X bar as what?
1.7.
1.7, and your S is
1.494.
49.
Yes.
Well, 1.5 is fine.
Okay.
Okay, good. Or I probably should work. So it was 170.
Yeah.
1.7, and then this is 1.494.
4.
Okay, yeah, that's great. Okay, good. So then we're going to do something along the lines of this. We're going to do first step, H naught. Oh, yep. Is what? This is that weird one, right? Mu d is equal to 0. H1 is
not equal.
says it differs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep, it's a difference.
Yeah. Does it do anything? Does it change?
Yes. Not
So I'm
equal.
claiming that it does something. That's my claim.
Yes.
Step 2 is going to be finding my critical value. This is 2-tailed. Right? So 2-tailed. Alpha is 0.05. 2-tailed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My degrees of freedom is going to be 10 minus 1. So it's 9. Critical value. What did you guys get for your critical value? 10. plus and minus
3.6. Oh no,
2.6
2.262.
2 point what?
262.
662? 2.262.
Yes.
Great. I just need to pick one person, I think. 2.262, positive 2.262. And then you're gonna find your test stat. So you could just do, so let's see, this is gonna be my mean. Test stat equals my mean minus 0, right? Because this is my target right here. You guys see the target right there? Minus 0 over S 1.49 over square root of 10. And you guys got what number? 3.something?
60. 3.60.
60, sorry.
60.
Oh, but it was near S.
Great, so that's over here. So
Yes.
you're going to reject H naught, and you have enough evidence to support your claim. Everybody good with that part?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody take a look at column number 4?
Yes.
It's a confidence interval. Right, so you need to figure out your critical value, which is, this is a mean. So 35 people, your degrees of freedom is 34. It's confidence interval. So what's your critical value?
What is that? 2.75.
30,
2.750.
okay? And then, so then your error is gonna be 2.750 times S over square root of N. What's my
Yes.
S?
3,251.
Over square root of 35. Everybody on board with that part?
Yes.
What'd you get for that?
1,511.178. 1.8.
178. I think I'm okay with just leaving it like that.
Okay.
So then we're gonna have our last part is gonna be our X bar minus our error, comma our X bar plus our error, right? So it's gonna be 26345 minus 1511 and 26345 plus. That can't be. Oh yeah, it is. 1511.
How is it the E?
So that ends up being
Or not the E?
265248334. Is that right?
35.
Yes.
Comma 27856.
5.6. Yes.
Good. All right.
Yes.
Everybody on board? What's my best point estimate for this?
24,000.
Nope.
26.
Point estimate.
26,345
Yeah, 26. My point estimate.
is your X bar.
Yep. Estimate is X bar. 26345. All right. We'll see you guys Thursday.
I wish this could look good.
Yeah.
So for exam, we can break this and
Sample size is 35, right?
Yeah.
So then the degrees of freedom